Welcome to the WD Lounge where film, music, and culture connects. And my goodness, y'all, what is going on with 50 Cent? 50 Cent is going crazy. He is out of control, and everything that you can know about 50 Cent, that's what's going on. It's he's being who he is, and he's been like that. He's been going on a rampage for since the year started. Conflict after conflict after conflict, beef after beef, and just like he says, I don't want no problems. But if there's a problem, there's no problem. you know.
I don't ever want a problem. But when they say they want a problem, I say no problem.
And he's pretty much showing that off. I mean, since January, he's had issues with Jim Jones about the building where he was supposedly renting a spot for his podcast. And he's been trolling him about that situation up until the point right now where, from what I'm hearing, that he's bought the land and the building from the tenant, and he's become his new landlord. But also, in the process of that beef, he was also going at it with Fabulous, and Fabulous even dropped the freestyle against 50 to have him respond to either a versus battle or a back and forth on wax. But unfortunately 50 Cent has not replied on wax, but he's replied the best way he knows how on the gram, trolling the Fabulous and also trolling Jim Jones and those guys over there. But it didn't stop there. I mean, although he didn't participate in this specifically, but he was also embedded into another altercation that necessarily didn't have anything to do with him, but it had everything to do with Yayo and Uncle Murder. What am I talking about? We're talking about the time when 50 with Ja Rule and Uncle Murder and Yayo were both, all three of them were on the same flight, and they just wound up, it just so happened coincidentally that Ja Rule was in front of Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder. And with that said, it was like he got, it's like he just couldn't help himself. He went back online and he trolled Ja Rule, saying that if he made all the ruckus and he did all that Hollywood stuff, just he draw attention to himself because he knew he was outnumbered. But being in a situation like that, hey, I mean, what else could you do? I mean, if I was on a plane with two of my ops, what I'm saying, I'd keep my eyes glued at all time. But if they were right behind me, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not. Either way is kind of like, I would, would I want to be there standing right behind me, having these dudes throwing stuff at me and stuff like that? And then, do I really want to get in a fight to where I'm going to lose my flight rights and my flight privileges? I mean, as you can see, Ja Rule is still an active participant in the game. He still goes on tours and he still does his thing, as does Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder. They got their new podcast going on. They're also Yayo also does interviews with Vlad and different other platforms, and then they're also hype men for 50 Cent when he goes out on occasion to do a concert or tour or whatever it is that they're doing. So these guys are pretty active. So for them to be put in a situation like that to where they're going to lose their flight privileges, I don't think it was worth it. And the way it turned out, it didn't work. And the way it worked out, Ja Rule was escorted off the plane. Nobody lost their rights, but it opened the door for good television, for good topics, and for us creators have something to talk about as the world turns, as the days go by, as they say. But it didn't stop there. Now he's going at it with T.I. T.I. apparently came out and challenged 50 Cent to a versus battle, and of course 50 declined that, but instead started trolling T.I. online. And this morning I saw that he posted a video, a pretty humiliating picture of T.I.'s wife, Tiny, where it looks like her BBL is not sitting right. And yeah, 50's gonna go through hell and high water. He's gonna find any cracks that he can find to humiliate people. So in this case, he did that, and he's gotten a pretty quick response, but from a person that you least expect. He got a response from actually King Harris, which is the son of Ti and son of Tiny. He was able to give a response, and it was pretty vulgar, to say the least. So basically 50 is just being classic 50, trolling his ass off all over the gram and stuff, while he's still taking care of his business. I don't understand how this guy has the time to juggle so many television shows, interviews, breaking all these deals, doing all these performances, and still have time to troll the way he trolls. I mean, have you followed 50 Cent's Instagram page? This guy posts at least 6 or 7 times a day, and it's like, and it's nonstop, and it's funny, and it's funny and embarrassing and humiliating stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if you're up to this guy, hey, you better have some tough skin. Just like Fat Joe says, you better have some tough skin, because you're going to really go through it.
Don't get beef with 50 Cent. If you can't have thick skin, you're going to really go through it.
My opinion is, don't mess with 50. You know what I mean? Hey, pave the way. Let that man do what he does. And if you don't want to be a headline on his IG page, or you don't want to be, I would suggest, like he says, stay out of his way. So y'all let me know what y'all think on the comment section. Leave me your opinion. What do you think? You think 50 is going too far? Is that too far for 50, or is just 50 being 50? Leave it up in the comment section, and we'll catch you on the next video. This is WD Lounge signing off. Ciao.